Hello, friends. Please consider supporting the Flavors and Knowledge podcast. Donated proceeds are applied to absorb the cost of cooking classes and health education for children. Help a child affected with diabetes with a sponsorship donation toward adequately managing the condition through Food First. Chef Walter's Children Diabetes Foundation brings this message. Hello, friends. Welcome back to Flavors and Knowledge, the food learning podcast where we strive for honest food talk and a few opinions. I'm Chef Walter. At Easter time, Italian kitchens rediscovered a connection between food and religion. Many recipes made during the Holy Week symbolizes the ritual and the flavors which have been developed through history. But new clothes and new hats at Easter basket with chocolate eggs were not the only delights of the day. There were the Easter pies. For several days before Easter, the pies were in process. In my family, there were 4 distinct kinds, all of which were founded on the famous ricotta cheese. 2 were sweets and 2 were savory. The most basic and perhaps the favorite was a simple ricotta cheese pie. The sweet and creamy ricotta teased the palate with hints of orange and lemon and occasionally orange water. The next version was the same ricotta, but this time with the addition of sweet cooked rice. Then there were the savory versions. The savory versions added distinct flavors and textures. Greens, ham, and eggs. The basic savory pie was created by the addition of cooked and drained spinach to unsweetened ricotta. Here again. The more complex version, and the most engaging, included ham and hard-boiled eggs, while the sweet versions were served as heavenly desserts. The savory pies would do well as a hearty lunch or even dinner. This passage is a courtesy of the Food Table, preserving the Italian-American kitchen. I want to take this opportunity to share with you an Italian rice pie, something that came from my family, and we're going to make this a cooking lesson. So if you take the patience to follow the ingredients as I'm going to give it to you, and I promise you that I will offer a link on the show notes where you can actually print the recipe out. So let's begin. 2 cups of unsifted all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 2 teaspoons of double-acting baking powder, 1/2 cup or 1 stick of butter, 1 large egg slightly beaten, 1/4 cup of whole milk, 3/4 cup of packaged enriched pre-cooked rice, 3/4 cup of water, 1/2 cup of dark raisins, 1 container of ricotta cheese, about 15 ounces, 3/4 cup of sugar, 1 can of evaporated milk, usually 13 ounces, 1/2 cup of chocolate syrup, 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, a pinch of cloves, and 4 large eggs, beaten very well. And when we talk about ingredients, I always suggest to purchase organic eggs when possible. Look for ricotta cheese, which has a sort of a dense consistency. Try to eliminate those type of brands which contain a elevated amount of water. Instruction in terms of the procedure are very simple. It's really much more in selecting the right ingredients than the assembling aspect of it. Mix the flour and sugar and baking powder in a bowl. Cut in the butter, add 1 egg and the milk. Mix very well and knead the dough until you form a ball. Roll on a lightly floured board and cut a 13-inch circle, 1/8 of an inch in thickness. Fold over and place in a 12-inch pie pan. You can flute the edge to your liking and re-roll the remaining pastry 1/8 of an inch thick and cut into half-inch strips, and the strips are going to be used for the top portion. Chill the shell for about 30 minutes. Meanwhile, prepare the rice with water as directed on the package. Plump the raisin in warm water, drain on paper towel. You may combine also the cheese at this point with 3/4 cup of sugar, milk, syrup, vanilla and spices in a separate bowl, and you can add the 4 eggs and mix very well to all mixture. Add the raisin and the rice to the mixture and combine the filling until well blended. You may do this by using a rubber spatula or a wooden spoon. Take out the shell from the refrigerator and pour the mixture into the shell. At this point, you can crisscross the pastry strips on the filling portion. Bake at a preheated 400 Fahrenheit for about 10 minutes, and then lower the temperature to 325 Fahrenheit for 45 to 50 minutes, or until a toothpick which gets inserted in the center comes out clean, and I'm sure you already know that. You need to cool the pie for about 1 hour, and you can serve it with fresh cream, crème fraîche, or fresh fruit, or simply stand alone. Enjoy it with a wonderful espresso, little shot of sambuca, or whatever liqueur you prefer. And that is the cooking class for today on rice pie, which is the dominant pie of Holy Week, especially among the Catholics, specifically Italians. And that is all for this episode of Flavors and Knowledge. I hope you enjoyed it, and follow this podcast on Anchor FM or any preferred platforms. Follow us on YouTube under the Chef Walter's Cooking School page for brief educational videocast. In addition, our website flavorsandknowledge.com will offer all the necessary information on our services, products, and programs. And if you are in for a new vacation, you may want to consider our food and culture tours in Italy. And you can do that by simply visiting flavorsandknowledgetours.com. If you are in the kitchen today or tonight and you're considering making this fabulous rice pie, always keep your eyes on the fire. We'll reconnect on the next round with another interesting food talk, and I promise, fewer opinions. Invest in your health through food first. Ciao, ciao.
Flavors and Knowledge is brought to you by Chef Walter's Cooking School in Cranston, Rhode Island. For classes, workshops, events, and programs, please visit our website at chefwalterscookingschool.com. For all other services offered by Chef Walter's Food Group, check out our main website, chefwalter.com.